Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Kaylee Cuoco and Sam Claflin star in the MGM Plus original series, Vanished. When the man Alice loves disappears on a train to the south of France, every romantic memory becomes evidence. Every intimate detail, a potential threat. She thought she knew everything about him, but she may not even know his real name. New episode Sunday on MGM Plus. Finding the truth is a dangerous affair.
Every sip of Coca-Cola brings you closer to the excitement of the FIFA World Cup 26. Because nothing compares to the joy. So grab a Coke and drink in the FIFA World Cup 26. No purchase necessary. 13 plus in 50 U.S. states and D.C. with a web-enabled device. Ends March 1st with 8 entry periods. Rules at cokeurl.com/soccer rules.
Hi, I'm Chris McCormick. You're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
Was it something I said? This is the latest Milano Daily from Anything But Footy, talking about the Olympics and Paralympics all the time, not once every 4 years. I'm John, and I've arrived in Milan.
And I'm Michael, and I'm in Cortina. Yes, I heard you were coming, so I headed 5 hours away. No, seriously, I'm here because we've had the first medal for Team GB.
And this one isn't a prediction, it is a fact. It was a fabulous Friday. And as someone said to us in Paris 2 years ago, how come you always know where the medals are going to be?
Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, by the way. We hear from our new Olympic champion, Matt Weston, and we'll get all the reaction here in Cortina too.
I was having pizza at 12:30 in the 24-hour food hall, so nothing crazy yet, but I think the emotions are pretty high still.
Natalie Dunman, Executive Performance Director, British Skeleton and Bobsleigh. Everything that we hope for, and it's such a boost for the whole team.
And we're on the medal table. We've news from the Games, and tomorrow's news today, figure skating again.
Hi, my name's Luke Digby, and I'm super excited to represent Team GB in figure skating.
Hi, I'm Anastasia, Vaipan-Law, and I'm also super excited to be representing Great Britain.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy, from Milan.
And from Cortina. So download, listen, follow, and tell all your fellow Olympic fans we're here and we've got it covered across both the bases.
Hi, I'm Eve Muirhead. I'm chef de mission. You're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
So the first individual British gold medalist since Robin Cousins in 1980. The first ever Team GB men's skeleton Olympic champion. Matt Weston sliding to success with a track record, or several of them, at Milano Cortina 2026. The world and European champion also wins Great Britain's first medal of these Winter Olympics, with Beijing silver medalist from Germany, Alex Juncker, second again, and 2022 champion Christoph Gruther, the bronze. Team GB are 15th on the medals table. And Michael, you saw it with your own eyes in Cortina, not through a screen like the rest of us.
No, I was literally 5-10 metres away from the track. You can reach out and touch it if you want. I'll tell you more about it in a moment, but let's hear from the man himself. I've been speaking to Olympic champion Matt Weston.
Pretty amazing, to be honest. It's kind of been a bit of a whirlwind since I crossed the line last night. It was a bit of a late one. I didn't end up going to sleep till like 1:30, and I don't even have the excuse that I was out celebrating and drinking, because I was actually busy doing anti-doping. I had to wee in a cup, and I had to sort all my equipment out and things like that. So I was having pizza at 12:30 in the 24-hour food hall. So nothing crazy yet, but I think the emotions are pretty high still.
It was an emotional moment, and we saw you being emotional for someone that we consider to be so focused, so driven, so professional. Tell us what you were thinking when you crossed the line, you saw the green, you knew you'd won.
Well, I like you say, I had to kind of stay in the zone. I think I'm quite good at keeping myself focused and keeping myself in that zone, ready to compete. I didn't let any emotions out at all in between days. I was very, very focused, had a job to do, had some boxes to tick going down the track. So, that was that was how I was during the race and how I kind of like to compose myself. But as soon as I crossed the line and I saw those green numbers, the tears started coming in straight away. Even with my helmet still on, I didn't have control over it. It was kind of a build-up over the past, I'd say, well, at least since Beijing, but basically past 9 years building up to that. So it meant a lot, and to have my coach there as well, celebrating with me. He's an amazing part of this journey. There's so many people I want to thank, so many people I want to say thank you for all your support. I can't name them all, but it's as you can probably tell, I'm kind of a bit lost for words. Riding the high.
You mentioned Beijing. I don't necessarily want to focus too much on that, but is this a bit of a retribution story after what happened 4 years ago for you?
God, yeah. It's been it was a really, really tough time after Beijing. We took a risk with our equipment and it didn't pay off, and it really hit me hard. I came back from there and wanted to quit for quite a few weeks, but I kind of then turned around and used that as it lit the fire for me to kind of motivate myself and push myself to get to this point. And not just me, but the whole team have been very kind of good at pushing me and pushing the rest of the team, because it's not just me that's had success after the Beijing. Every one of the athletes that are here has won a World Cup, and Marcus has been pushing me for the past 2 years. He's been really one of the reasons why I'm sat here today with an Olympic gold medal around my neck is because Marcus has pushed me so much. He's a great teammate, but also a great competitor. So we're in a very, very good place since Beijing, and I think that is just testament to the hard work that every single one of us have put in.
And you had the presence of mind last night to pay tribute to the people that work on the track, and you broke that track record four times. It must be a track then that obviously is going to be special for you, but particularly because of your performance on it, it will hold amazing memories. Why has it been so good for you?
It's quite a flowy track. It's quite technical. Both of those things I suit the way I like to slide. I quite like the subtle movements. It's one of those where the small, minute differences will make a big difference on this track. It really does kind of punish you if you do make a mistake, especially at the top section, but also rewards you massively with some speed if you do get it right. And there's a little tradition that when you break the track record, you have to buy a crate of beers for the track workers. And because I did it 4 times, I think I've already dropped my PD in it once, but I'm going to say it again. I think I'm going to leave that to her to pick up the bill for that. But I'm sure she won't mind. It's thank you very much for the track workers for making it such an amazing experience, and I'm so pleased to be here with 4 track records. It's amazing.
And 4 crates of beer.
Yeah, exactly. My wallet's going to be a bit lighter after that one, especially with the prices around Olympic time. So to be honest, I'd do it all again. I'd buy 8 crates of beer to be in this position again. It's amazing. The track was in such good condition. It's a pleasure to slide on.
And how important is this medal? Obviously for you, obviously for your organisation, Bobsleigh and Skeleton, but for Team GB, because we've been here a week and we were waiting and we had some 4th places. The pressure was on a bit. Yeah, I mean, the pressure was always on for me. I was coming in as number 1 in the world, so I kind of I was ready for that pressure. It's pretty gutting, the fact that Team GB haven't been able to cross the line with some medals. There's been some amazing performances and just been so close. I think 4th place is pretty tough to deal with, but I think hopefully now we've got a medal across the line. Hopefully it opens the floodgates. I'm excited to see what the girls do later in the skeleton, and also with the team event on Sunday. So there's some really good potential in the sliding sports, as well as obviously bobsleigh. I'm just hoping that this gives momentum to the rest of Team GB. I'm excited to see what we can do. And finally, talking about that team event, I remember in Paris at the Summer Games, Keely Hodgkinson won her gold. I said, you get a trip to the Palace, you'll be Sports Personality of the Year. You become double Olympic champion, you'll get a knighthood, and you'll be Sports Personality of the Year. Well,
that would be absolutely amazing. That would be, absolutely insane. That's not the reason why I do it, but it definitely would be a lovely perk, to be honest. I've already been to the Palace once, I think, after I've won my first World Championships, and it was a very, very special experience. So to be able to do something cool like that again would be absolutely amazing. But we've still got a job to do now tomorrow. But keep my head screwed on.
Yeah, just finally, I mean, the serious point is obviously one more competition for you and a great chance for Team GB. Germany, obviously, very, very much in contention as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's not gonna be a walk in the park at all. It's gonna be a tough battle. But I think Marcus especially has got. I think the fire's been lit for him. It didn't quite go his way in the individual, but he's extremely good at the team race events and has some great reaction times. And the girls, we're not quite sure who we're going to be with yet. It's all decided off the back of the individual event, so not sure who we're going to get. But I have full trust that no matter which pairing we have, it will be an extremely strong one.
So Matt Weston talking to Michael. Great fun about buying 4 crates of lager.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit like the hole-in-one in golf that you have to buy the clubhouse a drink. So Natalie Dunman, who we'll hear from in a minute, she's the Executive Performance Director at British Bobsleigh and Skeleton. She was telling us this last night. So in Skeleton, if you break a track record, what you have to do is reward the people that put the track together and work on the track and keep the track maintained. So for Matt Weston, he broke 4 track records, and that means that he needs to buy 4 crates of beer. Now, as you heard there, he is trying to get Natalie to buy it because he says she has the company credit cards.
Absolutely. He's also a very sensible man, because I think in a separate interview he was asked whether this was the best day of his life, and he said, well, I'm getting married in July, so I'll say yes for a moment, but then I'll change my answer. That sounds like going into marriage in a very good, sensible way.
Yeah, he's a very good, sensible person. I mean, seriously, it never looked in doubt. If there's a given in Olympic sport, then Matt Weston was the given. He looked supremely focused coming into this event. He just seemed to get better and better. Well, he not seemed to get better and better. His times showed that he got better and better with every run. In fact, there were 6 track records, I think, in total, because I think the Germans broke a couple before he had the opportunity to slide as well. And he actually got the opportunity, when you consider this is a sport that's measured in milliseconds, kind of got the opportunity around that final bend to realise the enormity of what he was about to do. And he knew that the final bend, in his words, is a relatively easy one. So he knew that if he was to negotiate that, he thought he'd done enough. He thought then he would become the Olympic champion. Emotional for him. He put his face down to the ice, burst into tears, did that now what is traditional sort of big double fist pump that he does at the end of the races to his family and to his friends. He's got the day off today. He's been doing some interviews with the likes of me this morning. I think his girlfriend and him are going to try and watch some rugby later because, of course, the Six Nations continues. Italy are in action this afternoon as well. And he won't be going on the ice today. And then he will be back for this new mixed team event. And Great Britain will have 2 crews in that. So Matt and Marcus Wyatt, who finished 9th, I think, in the end, will both be in that team event. So they will be GB1 and GB2. We'll wait and see what happens in the women's event tonight, because, of course, there's 3 women competing here. Freya Tarbit, Amelia Coltman, and also Tabby Stoker. So they'll make a decision later on about which of those 2 out of the 3 will compete, and then they'll work out the pairings. So we've been saying Matt and Tabby, because they have competed together before. That isn't necessarily going to be the partnership, although it is the most likely, I understand. And then there's 2 real serious medal chances tomorrow for both the British pairs.
And just talking about the women, there could be more success, as you say, but they have to break up the Germans, the British women, with the standings after Heat 1 and Heat 2 of the women's skeleton Olympic final. Tabby Stoker was 5th fastest. The former trapeze artist is really going to have to fly this time. And Freya Tarbit is 6th, Amelia Coltman 8th. Austria's Janine Flock leads, and then there is Germany 2, 3 and 4. So if we're going to go in a medal in that, it's going to have to go some. But you've also been talking about how you can get into bobsleigh and skeleton, Michael, with Natalie Dunman.
Yeah, well, Natalie's the Executive Performance Director at British Bobsleigh and Skeleton. I've seen her this morning, and she told me that last night, after recording a radio interview and a television interview, so my colleague Geraint Hughes from Sky Sports News here, we were here, obviously, and we both spoke to Natalie last night. So live on the telly and live on the radio last night on Talk Sport and on Sky Sports News, she mentioned that you can sign up for a talent ID day, and she saw us this morning and said we've had 1,000 people do that overnight. So Yeah, there's audiences out there. They are listening to the radio and they are doing it. Let's hear actually the full interview with Natalie now and get her reaction. Of course, this was moments after Matt had completed that fourth and final gold medal winning run.
Brilliant, amazing. I think it's everything that we hope for, and it's such a boost for the whole team.
4 track records from Matt. Was it flawless though?
It wasn't flawless. So actually the first run, Matt made a mistake and he kind of opened the door for other people to maybe step through it, and they didn't. And then after that, he was pretty good all the way through. So he put down a really consistent set of performances, and he made it almost impossible for anyone else to come past him.
What is the secret then to British skeleton? Because for a long time we've had success, mainly the women. Tonight, a man.
Yeah, I think we approach skeleton in a bit of a different way. We obviously don't have a track, so we don't have a junior programme. So we find athletes from other sports that have what it takes to be good at skeleton, and then we put the right coaching, the right support around them, and we give them a brilliant opportunity to go and realise their potential. So we just do it in a bit of a different way. We have to be innovative, and we have to do it in a different way to other nations, but we know it works, so we keep doing it.
I remember speaking to Matt a while back. He described it as Formula One on ice. Mm-hmm. How much of it tonight is tech and how much of it is the individual?
There's definitely technology involved. Like, equipment is really important. It is an equipment-based sport. We've got brilliant sled builders, Matthias Guggenberger and Martin Stukers, who coach and build our sleds for us. But the athlete has to do it at the end of the day. They are the athlete who is driving that sled. So you need good equipment, but you've got to be a brilliant athlete as well. You've got to be quick off the top. You've got to be able to have the skill to drive down the track, and you've got to have the mental strength to do that 4 times over 2 days. And Matt has all of that.
What does it mean, not just for your organisation, but for Team GB this week? We are exactly a week on from the opening ceremony. Medal 1. It's a gold medal too.
Yeah, I think it's a real boost for the team. We're really glad it's us that's been able to do it, but I think that first medal always means something special, and hopefully that can kind of kick-start some more from the rest of the team.
And could there be more skeleton medals? Because Tabby is going well in the women's, and then we've got this mixed event as well, and Matt could be a double Olympic champion in 48 hours.
He absolutely could. The girls are sitting in 5th and 6th overnight, which is a really great achievement given the quality of the athletes and the experience of the athletes that are sitting above them. It's not over, so it's all to play for tomorrow. So we've got a good chance to kind of go after it. And then the mixed team relay is one of our real strengths. We've won multiple medals at World Champs and World Cups this cycle, so we're really going to go after it in that one.
And how do you just prepare Matt for that? Because you obviously need to bring him down a little bit from tonight, but he's a very professional person in his outlook, but yeah, another significant medal opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got tomorrow off, so there's no sliding for him tomorrow, so he's got a day to kind of enjoy obviously the success of today and to take it all in, and then to reset for the next day and go again. So we will absolutely be kind of letting him have a bit of time tomorrow to kind of enjoy it and take it all in, but then refocus for the next event. So yeah.
Finally, one of the questions I get asked as an Olympics reporter is, how can I become an Olympian? Can someone just sign up and become a skeleton racer for Team GB?
They actually can. So the brilliant thing about skeleton and bobsleigh is that you can take it up late. You can come from another sport and transfer and be successful. So if anyone is listening and wants to have a go, if you go onto the British Bobsleigh and Skeleton Association website, you can sign up and we'll invite you down for testing, and you can see whether you could be a Olympic champion of the future.
Natalie Dunman, overjoyed, a little out of breath, as you can imagine. What a celebration. And you had a long journey to Cortina, where you are now. Not quite as relaxing as the sailing bus to Rio, I would assume, but it's been quite a 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was always determined to get out to Cortina at some point during these games. This is where it really does feel like a Winter Olympics, because not only are you surrounded by the mountains and the snow and all the branding, but because it's such a small centre, Cortina, all the bars, all the pubs are absolutely teeming with Olympic fans. There's live music in the streets. You can see flags. You can see fans from every nation that's competing. It does really feel like a centre. If you've never been to Cortina before, I was wandering around yesterday. If you imagine that you were wandering around, say, one of the bigger towns in the Lake District, say Coniston or Windermere, it's a little, I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but it's a little bit like wandering around one of those. We're not in a big city here. So it's not a Paris, it's not a London, it's not a Tokyo. So you're not getting that big city summer games feel. It's a much more intimate town, if you like. And therefore, every everywhere you turn, you can't escape Milano Cortina 2026. So yeah, terrific experience and definitely worth the long journey to come here.
Safe travels on your journey back, because I know it's been snowing. We're halfway through the episode and these games. It is day 8 at the moment. Andrea Varnier, the chief exec of the games, has been speaking this morning here in Milan, and he says we're very happy, particularly with the hockey venue, of course, the Santa Giulia hockey venue that Michael went to a few days ago. The atmosphere is amazing, he said, even though Italy were thrashed by the USA last night. He said a lot of work was done before the games, but what matters is the games now. And it also helps that the Italians are winning medals, which makes it easier. They're having their best start to a games ever. More than 1.27 million tickets have been sold. They're 85% full across all venues and 90% here in Milan. And in the athletes' village, as well as 10,000 condoms have all gone, 11,000 meals a day are being served as well. There is obviously appetite for certain things here in Milan and in Cortina. This is Milano Daily. Tomorrow's news today. The other news from the games coming up. We cover the Olympics all the time, not every 4 years.
Hi, I'm Adele Nicol, and you're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy.
So in other news from the games, in his 5th Olympics for Team GB, Andrew Musgrave has just delivered his best ever performance, a super 6th place in the men's cross-country 10K interval start. It's also Great Britain's best ever Olympic finish in cross-country skiing. Teammate Joe Davis 12th, James Klugnet 34th. And Norway's, we've mentioned him a lot, Johannes Hosflet Klæbo has won his 3rd gold of these games. While in the biathlon, France's Quentin Fillon-Maillet won the men's 10K sprint with Britain's Jacques Jeffries 71st.
Now, after qualifying 9th in the seedings, unfortunately, Charlotte Banks went out in the quarterfinals of the women's snowboard cross after finishing 4th in her Heat 1. Australia, not a traditional Winter Olympic nation, but I repeat, Australia won their 2nd gold medal in 24 hours, with Josie Baff taking top spot ahead of Czechia and Italy in silver and bronze.
First defeat for the British men's team in curling after being 4 down after the first leg. Bruce Mowat, Grant Hardy, Bobby Lammy and Hammy McMillan were finally beaten 9-7 in the 10th end against hosts Italy. In the mixed doubles, bronze medalist who beat Bruce, of course, Amos Mossonet, is in that Italian team as well. So a double blow for Bruce. The British women lost their second match 9-3 to Korea, but this morning on day 8, they just won their first match. Well done to them against Canada, holding on in the 10th end. 7-6 they were victorious, having been 7-3 up.
Here in Cortina, I just literally bumped into Team GB chef de mission and Olympic curling champion Eve Muirhead, who was watching that and clearly absolutely delighted that Team Morrison are off the mark. Elsewhere, back in Milan, where John is, a huge shock at the figure skating, where the USA's Ilya Malinin, the so-called quad god, didn't win gold, finished 8th in the men's singles after falling during his free dance routine. Kazakhstan 21-year-old figure skater Mikhail Shedorov won the gold. Japan took silver and bronze.
That was his country's first ever gold in the Winter Games and the first time that anyone's moved from 5th overnight after the short programme to 1st. No one has ever done that before. And as you say, the quad god, he ended up doing doubles. He tried to do quads and just ended up doing doubles. It was bizarre. Simone Biles was in the crowd, totally devastated for Ilya. She put on threads. I think Novak Djokovic is in Milano too, Michael. So my wife actually bumped into Torval and Dean in the hotel lobby last night as well. All the celebrities are here. So where are you? You need to get back here.
I'm going to head back that way because that is the kind of company I would like to keep.
Also here in Milan, the first 2 women's ice hockey quarterfinals have taken place. No surprises. Sweden beat Czechia 2-0. USA thrashed Italy 6-0, as I mentioned earlier. And on day 8, it's Finland, Switzerland and Olympic champions Canada against Germany, which I'm going to be at. Looking forward to that. I've seen some on the TV this week. It's really interesting to see if I can keep up with the puck. It goes so quickly. I mean, the men's matches goes even faster, but really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I commentated on football for 20 odd years, and I, in my head, was watching the ice hockey, wondering whether I could commentate on that at the same kind of level, because it is so quick. Yeah, we'll give it a go maybe in the future. Here in Cortina, where I am, we've witnessed, as we've said, the first medal of these Winter Games for Team GB. It's a gold for Matt Weston in the skeleton, 15th now in the medals table. Norway, top of the pile. They've got 8 golds. Italy doing really well, second with 6 golds, and the USA third with 4. Australia only 3 places above Team GB at the minute, but they do have those 2 gold medals. I think the team skeleton, gold and a silver, and that will get us above the pesky Aussies.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. Our tomorrow's news today. So we're looking ahead to day 9 at TNT. And as we heard yesterday's episode, Adele Nicol will be in action in the women's monobob, the official Heat 1 and Heat 2. So keep an eye out for her on that on day 9. The mixed teams could be successful for Team GB as well. Michael was mentioning them in the skeleton, GB1 and GB2. To be confirmed. We know Marcus and Matt will be in it, but who will be joining them? And also in the mixed team snowboard cross as well, Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale are hoping to put their individual performances behind them. They're the world silver medalists in the snowboard cross. Fingers crossed that the mixed teams on day 9 could do the business. Now, here in Milan, the figure skating has been a highlight for many this first week. And after the ice dance, it's the turn of the pairs. We've been saying it's the biggest skating team for Team GB since Calgary in 1988. And Anastasia Vaipan-Law and Luke Digby will perform their short programme tomorrow on Sunday, when they're 5th. They were 5th at the Europeans in that and 7th overall. And they've been speaking to all things Olympics to Michael.
What are your earliest Olympic memories, Luke?
I'd say from a summer perspective, the 2012 Olympics, obviously being in London, that was super incredible. And then on a stage of winter, the 2014 Winter Olympics, I remember watching it in the Rink Cafe and just being super inspired.
Was the Olympics something that you always thought of, hoped about, dreamed about, Anna?
Yeah, for sure. All the way from to the start of my career, really. I just remember the word Olympics being flung about, being like, are you going to go to the Olympics? All the time. And it was something I was like, oh, actually, I'd like to go there. And then obviously when it got to about 2014 and I was watching it live, and it just was like, yeah, 100%, that's something I would like to do.
What is it about the Olympic Games that is so special?
I think it's the pinnacle for most sports, and for me it's just the exclusivity of it. You're one of a number of athletes representing your whole country from all the people, and yeah, just to achieve it is just a lifelong goal.
Is it something you think about kind of every day, what it would be like to be there?
Pretty much. I feel like it's been at the forefront of my mind for the last 17, 18 years of skating, to be honest. But yeah, it's just that dream, isn't it, at the end of the day? And that's what we work hard towards day in, day out at training. So, yeah.
You talked, Luke, about 2012. There was a big figure skating event in the UK in 2012, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I wonder whether I saw you, because I was there in Sheffield for that, and you were there too.
Yeah, correct. I am from Sheffield. That is my hometown. Looked quite a bit younger back then. I was probably sort of about 10, 11, 12 years old, and I actually volunteered as a flower boy, where you go on the ice and you pick up all the teddies, flowers, gifts for the skaters. And yeah, I remember being super inspired from that major event in my hometown.
What do I need to know about pairs figure skating at the Olympics then? What if someone's never seen it, heard about it, tell me what I need to know about it.
So if you're going to be watching the pair skating, I mean, expect to be amazed, first and foremost. You might have a few gasps and a few covering your eyes at moments, but it's because the discipline is just so exciting. I suppose it's more of a dangerous aspect, but it's not dangerous in any safety precautions, but most people that have never seen it before, you're going to be like, wow, like, how does that even work? Like, how do they do that? That's just kind of the response you get from most people that have never seen us do it before, which is quite common in the UK. So, yeah.
And what are the practicalities? How does it work at the Olympics?
Yeah, we'll have the short programme, and then the top 16 athletes within that discipline, within our discipline pairs, will qualify through to the second skate, the free skate.
And what are the judges looking for?
I think ultimately the judges are looking for a nice clean skate that, you know, just shows confidence, and you're putting onto the ice elements that I suppose are easy on the eye, and there's so many things that go into the way that judges judge, so it would take me a long time to really get into the nitty-gritty of it, but effectively you're just looking to go out there and do a nice clean performance and just, you know, keep everybody engaged and have fun, really.
And what are you looking for as a pair? What are you hoping to come back and have done?
To perform our best. I think that's always what every athlete hopes for, but yeah, certainly to perform your best on the biggest stage possible would be a dream come true, so we're fully focused on making sure we're as prepared as possible for that.
Sir Anastasia, Vaipan-Law and Luke Digby, they will be in the figure skating action in the pairs short programme, first up on Sunday at the Milano Ice Skating Arena. In other news from the Games, away from the Winters, a reminder that the British Indoor Championships Athletics is taking place. We had Jeremiah Azu on the podcast just a couple of days ago. National titles up for grabs and World Athletics Indoor Championship spots on the line as well. Kitty Hodgkinson's going to be there. She'll open her season in the 800 metres, but she's confirmed she's only going to run a heat, and British Athletics have said that is okay. She's not going to run the final. Josh Kerr will be stepping onto the track for the 3,000 metres. Dina Asher-Smith back indoors as well, interesting, returning to the UK indoors over 60 metres alongside the likes of Amy Hunt. Jeremiah Azu versus Rommel Glave is the one that John is looking forward to, the 60-metre showdown. Also, you're going to see the likes of Amber Anning, Molly Cordery, Georgia Hunter-Bell and more. But no, Matt Hudson-Smith, he confirmed on social media that he is not competing this weekend.
And also overnight, a world short track. It used to be indoor, but it's now called short track. A world short track record. America's Caleb McRae clocked a 400-metre record of 44.52. Now, if ratified by World Athletics, McRae's time would be a 0.05 improvement on the official world short track record set by Kieran Clement on the same track back in 2005 in the States. So people are beginning to run quick. The athletics is getting underway. The summer's not far away, Michael.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre for me to be missing the indoor athletics season, because it is something that this time of year I normally am along to and normally at, and normally miss Valentine's Day. And this year I'm missing Valentine's Day because I'm at the Winter Games in Cortina. But it's been fantastic in Cortina. Hope you're having a good time in Milan.
Certainly am. I'm looking forward to seeing the ice hockey later. Looking forward to catching up with you when you're back as well. You can check out all of the latest Winter Olympics news on our socials, Anything But Footy, the usual places. The Spotify Olympics music playlist is there. Michael will be listening to that on the train home. This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy from Milan
and Cortina.
Hi, I'm Lila Fear.
And I'm Lewis Gibson, and you're listening to Anything But Footy
with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.